And what's cracking, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. This is a quick voice check, or rather sound check. Sound check sounds better. How's it going, you guys? Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me a-okay. There's no music today, so just a heads up, it's gonna be me. I will sing for you if need be. I'm setting in a timer today. So if you guys have any questions, now's the time to, well, write them down, have it loaded for when you guys want to ask the questions. How's it going, Core? All right, let's cue intro in 3, 2, And what's cracking, you guys? How's everyone doing? Can we all just take a moment to appreciate the breakout that we finally have on Bitcoin's chart? For those of you who've been very, very bored, just been waiting for the breakout like any time now, haven't we waited long enough? For Pete's sake, Bitcoin, let's move now. Let's get this ball rolling. How's it going? How's it going? So like I said, we're not going to be wasting time today. I'm going to jump right into Bitcoin, and there is a very, very exciting announcement on the Mango Dynamic that I want to show off today. So for those of you who have the Mango Dynamic, well, there is a sweet, sweet, sweet surprise for you guys. But first, Bitcoin right here, guys, we officially have a breakout. Can we all take a minute to appreciate the breakout out of this beautiful, beautiful symmetrical triangle? Not just a symmetrical triangle, this is a bull flag. All right, let's go ahead and draw this in for those of you who do not see it. Oftentimes, you know, we're so like engaged with the charts, we take for granted what we do see just right off the bat. And one such thing that we do take for granted is, well, just the pattern plays. Right, so now we have an official break of this, okay? It's moving as we speak. What a beautiful, beautiful move this is, getting into the next weekly open. But if we're taking measured moves here, all right, this takes Bitcoin, are you ready? Takes it to $109,000 per BTC. And if I am not mistaken, I believe that's all-time high. Yeah, almost, we're getting there. Okay, the highest point here, I mean, it's as good. Come on, it's as good. Right, so this takes it, the highest point so far was 109,356. So this is getting up there today. This is the official breakout. I'm just going through the chat. Hello, everybody. Okay, I'm glad. I can see that people are super, super excited here. All right, so now what's key about this entire picture now is, once again, Bitcoin has been trending on the 12-hour dynamic support. Can we take a moment? No. First of all, I want you guys to take a moment to appreciate the trend here, okay? And there's a lesson in this. Oftentimes on some charts, depending on what asset that you are actually trading, it's important that you put in the work. And a part of that work could just be, you know, taking a step back and just doing like a cursory back test. Trying to figure out what system, what time frame does this asset really trend on. When it starts to pump, what is the time frame that's going to be the key time frame that gets me the best bid opportunities on the chart? Now for Bitcoin, one such time frame that's been freaking clutch, very, very, very powerful when the trend begins, is always this 12-hour time frame. It's been magic, absolute magic. Now Sean actually gave you guys the best trade not too long ago, okay, right here. He literally came out here and gave you guys the bid on the 12-hour dynamic support. He said, hey guys, this is the bid opportunity right here. Now there's one person from the Mango Seed program who actually managed to catch the bid. This is Dia. She posted her trade on the Discord chat. For those of you who are not on the Discord chat, please join the fun. There's a lot of alpha being posted there right now. themangoway.com/Discord. If one of you guys can actually link it, that would be awesome. But yeah, right now, okay, since Sean actually gave you guys the bid on that dynamic support, Bitcoin is up 13%. All right, these are very easy trades, especially off of the 12-hour. And once more, the entire bull flag consolidation happened where? Once again, it was the 12-hour dynamic support, right? Look at this. Look at this. So, oftentimes you're always asking yourself, where should I bid? Should I bid right now? What if it comes down lower? Sometimes all you do is got to put in the work. And hey, I get it. Sometimes some of you might have, a 9-to-5 job. You probably have to go to school, right? You don't have the time. You don't have the mind space to look at the chart. And this is where objective indicators come to play. Now, the one that it could be anything, okay? Find your system. Find your system. But find something that will always keep you objective. Now, for us, that's the dynamic, right? But now here's the magic. I remember when I first started trading, guys, all right? And I was doing this whole, okay, I'm gonna wait on my bid, all right? I'm gonna wait on my bid. I'm gonna catch my trade on support. I'm gonna be disciplined. I'm gonna be disciplined on my trade. I'm gonna wait for price to come down to support, and I will then take the trade right there. And then price does come down to support, okay, like it did here. 12-hour dynamic support. Sean gave you the bid. I also said that, hey, in my previous Bitcoin video, I'm like, hey, gun for the 12-hour dynamic once again. That seems to be that magic zone of support. Prices comes down to your zone of support. But I don't know about you. When I first started trading, my first thought was, okay, price is at support, but what if this is that one time, okay, that one time I catch support, and this is that one time it breaks support? What then? Do you guys ever go through that? Have you guys ever gone through that feeling that, prices have pulled back? Now you're seeing blood right on your region of support, the support that you're supposed to be buying, but now you're sort of chickening out right now. Have you guys ever had that feeling? And you don't end up executing. It's one thing to do your TA. It's a whole different ballgame to execute on your trades, right? Now, suddenly you're sitting there looking for strength. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for strength. I'm going to wait for some strength. But now question is, how much strength is enough strength? How do you know? Okay, now this is where Sean has gifted you guys with a very, very special surprise on the dynamic indicator. Now, for those of you who have the dynamic, this is not rolled out just yet. This is a feature that drops very soon, but it shows this: show entry, bid ask zone. Now, this gives you a zone of how much strength you should be looking for if you're wondering, hey, is this a good time to be jumping in? All right, so now you can see there's a green cloud. I'm just gonna knock this off. There we go. There's like this green zone that surrounds that dynamic indicator that tells you that, okay, this is the kind of strength that you want to see within that range. For as long as you're in that range, this is still a good time to be buying. If you're looking for strength, you want to see it live over this region, right? It gives you a bit more conviction in your trade setup. It gives you a bit more confidence in your trade setup as well. All right, so it says right here, start bidding and end bidding. So this is going to be a really, really nice, nifty feature for those of you who are looking for that added strength, to figure out, is it a good time to be taking the trade right here? Okay, so use this. This rolls out very, very, very soon. So I'm very excited for this. When he showed me this, it was a huge surprise. So now this is if you are, of course, a buyer. Say you're buying Bitcoin, you're buying XRP, you're buying Cardano. On the flip side, when the market turns, you can now say that, hey, I want to sell short. You can even change that setting, and it'll tell you when is it a good time to be going short. Okay, it literally tells you start selling here. Okay, if prices breaks the dynamic support, you know that, hey, this is a good time. If prices breaks that, you know that, okay, this is a good time to be actually selling. All right, this also tells you when is it a good time to be taking profits off the table. Oftentimes people tend to make excuses for, price has lost support, but what if this time is different? What if this time is just a fake out? Now you know exactly what you should be looking for to determine if something is a fake out or if it's actually a real break to the downside, and if this is your cue to start either exiting your positions and taking profits off the table. All right, so this is a really cool feature. Thank you so much, Sean. But yeah, this rolls out very soon, guys. I'm super excited. And also for those of you looking to jump into to get the dynamic, You can get it on the mangowave.com/dynamic. You'll find a link to it below. But right now, Bitcoin, and once again, Bitcoin has caught a bit off that entire dynamic support, rallying right off of that. We got a target at $109,000, but here's the kicker. Okay, now this is something that I brought up in my daily Bitcoin analysis, is that if I take you to this right here, this is Google Trends showing Bitcoin's interest right now, okay, calculated worldwide, past 12 months. It's bottomed out. We are at the lows. The last time Bitcoin was here was, okay, April of this year. We were still in our consolidation, but let's go back to last year. The last time Bitcoin had such low interest around it was in October of last year. Do you want to know where Bitcoin was sitting at in October of last year? Right here. We were still below the previous cycle highs. Okay, this was the previous cycle highs. We were almost at that, but still we hadn't broken out just yet. That's where interest was at. Previous cycle lows. Okay, sorry, not previous cycle lows, but interest was at cycle lows when Bitcoin had yet to break out of $60,000. All right, and now consider this. Right now, interest has tanked, okay, while Bitcoin is over $100,000 and just broke out of a beautiful symmetrical triangle bull flag. I mean, the picture cannot get any better than this. All right, this entire zone right here, for those of you, like I said, if you're apprehensive of ever catching your bids, now the dynamic is going to help you with just that, tell you exactly just how much strength is enough strength. You know, because a lot of times I notice traders like, no, I can only buy on strength. I can only buy on strength. But define strength for me already. Define strength for me. How much strength is enough strength? This is how you know now. Okay, this is your range that you can buy on. So now if prices breaks, you know that, okay, you know what? Perhaps I can now wait for that pullback. It's prudent for me to wait on the pullback, especially if you've not gotten that breakout out of the range of consolidation. All right. Okay, I'm going through your comments now. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, Larry. I love the enthusiasm. I love Sundays. I don't know about you. We had a very nice family lunch. We just got back from that. So I am freaking full as hell. But yeah, I got back and I was so happy. What a beautiful day. Got back to Bitcoin just ripping. So I'm like, let's go, live stream. Yes. So as long as you're within the zone, okay, as long as you're within the dynamic zone, this is a good time to be buying. I get it. Sometimes you're, price is on support and you're just gaslighting yourself thinking, what if this time it breaks? What if this is the one time I catch the bid and it just breaks? What then? I've been in your shoes before. I know what that's like. It sucks. All right, so now you know just how much strength is enough strength and when you ought to really start buying and really considering that position, all right? And also Blag asked me a great question today on Cardano, can we actually get onto Cardano's chart very quickly? Actually, I'll get there in a bit, but Blag, now this dynamic feature is gonna help you with that question. I'll pull up the dynamic once again on Cardano's chart so that you can see it as well. But yeah, this is going to help with a lot. Now you see, right? You were wondering, you were trying to compare the weekly dynamic to the bi-weekly dynamic. Krisha, what if the weekly dynamic on Cardano breaks? Let's go there very quickly. Okay, I just want to sort of bring this up. So Black's question was this. Krisha, what if the weekly dynamic on Cardano breaks, but the bi-weekly holds? What then? Right? But now, Black, with the new feature, okay, you now have like a zone to understand when are you wrong on the entire trade on Cardano? When is it a bad time to be long Cardano? Okay, irrespective of the bi-weekly holds. Okay, now you have that weekly range. That's going to now help you. And that's why Sean has embedded this. He's done everyone a huge favor. I used to have a huge problem with this, by the way. A lot of you guys know that when I started trading, I used to buy the breakouts and I used to get punished. Guys, I used to get punished. I'm like, no, I'm only gonna buy on strength, and I used to get wrecked every single time. But now I know just how much strength is enough strength. So this is how you do it. Okay, so now this is Bitcoin. We know that Bitcoin is broken out. This is great. Guys, this is the index, okay? As far as you guys want to just go to XRP, I have something really cool to show you here. Aren't you guys interested on targets? Do you guys want Bitcoin targets or no? If you want the Bitcoin target, smash target in the chat, please. I'll only go over Bitcoin's crazy bull market targets if you guys tell me you want the targets. If you do not want the targets, then whatever. Target, come on, let's go. What the hell, you guys? Where are your priorities? All right. We're on the target chart. This is the target chart. You're not ready for what I have. You guys want the targets? Okay, all right. This I have presented to you. Now, for those of you who are here right now, you're lucky. I had found a sick system. I kid you not. It's like a 100% hit rate so far. Okay, 100% hit rate. And this has nailed the Bitcoin target range, the bull market target range. Okay, I did an entire system last year. I presented it on the Mango dashboard in the premium video section. I also did a separate video, okay, for well, the daily videos, okay? This is it. It's the Fibonacci extensions. All right, I've come up with an entire analysis. Now you guys will find the system on the dedicated video that I did, but just in a nutshell, okay, this is going to give you guys the next target for Bitcoin. Right now, okay, this has been the, well, it's been the signature. Every single cycle on the Fib extensions, Bitcoin has always topped off between the 2.618 Fib extension and the 3.618 Fib extension. This is it. Okay? We've often reached the midpoint of that extension. In fact, in the last cycle, Bitcoin actually got up to the 3.618 Fib extension. Do you guys see the numbers on my chart for this range? Do you guys see the numbers? This right here is a number on the 2.618. And this right here is a number on the 3.618. Can you guys read that? The 2.618 Fib extension comes in at $214,829. $214,000 per BTC. The 3.618 Fib extension comes in at over $500,000 per Bitcoin. This is your target range, guys. I know it sounds absurd. I know, I get it. Okay, in fact, I got called out in my last daily Bitcoin video. Someone said I basically showed them a target of $300,000, and he's like, no, I've lost respect for you. What's wrong with you? How can you possibly call for $300,000? It's not me. These are just systems. I'm falling back onto the systems, and historically, this has worked out so well. Every single cycle, I kid you not. We've always topped out from the very beginning. This is the range we've topped out on. All right, so once again, this is going to be the target range that I look towards. 2.618 and 3.618, and these are the numbers. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and argue with the system. Okay, these are the numbers. $214,000 to $586,000 per BTC. Okay, so now that we have the call on Bitcoin, Bitcoin is still very much in its bull market parameters and even going higher, which means crypto is ready to go. Now with that, let's get into XRP. I know just how much you guys love XRP. I love it too, as much as you guys, if not more, okay? But right now, XRP is, it's looking good. Okay, it's looking good. The first thing I want you guys to understand is that XRP is still within its weekly range. I believe we're breaking out. Okay, we're breaking out here. Bitcoin is looking strong. I say we're getting up to top of the range at $2.86. Right, there is a pattern breakout that has taken place on XRP. Okay, in fact, there is a much larger one right here. I'm sure a lot of you guys have already spotted this one out. Okay, falling channel. The measured move, this target of the falling channel, literally takes XRP back up to its all-time highs. All right, on tomorrow's open, weekly open, if we start opening the candle over $2.40, that's game. Okay, that's game. What do I mean by game? Well, it's game for the freaking bears. It's done because the bulls are taking over. We're getting up to the top of the range, $2.86 at the very least, if not higher, all the way back up to the all-time high. All right. XRP has done exceptionally well on its range. Right? We start seeing strength over 240. That's amazing. Okay, I'm saying bulls are taking over. Not just that, if I take you on over to the daily time frame, all right, first of all, we've actually managed to reclaim dynamic support, which is great stuff. But in addition to that, okay, I even showed you something else last time around. Let me just go here. Yeah, there we go. It's much better. Much better. I can just see this like right off the bat. Like I said, oftentimes for those of us who've been in the space for a very long time, we can see the patterns unfold in front of our faces. It doesn't take much, right? But I tend to take it for granted, so I'm just going to mark it out for you. We have a head and shoulders break as well. Okay, drooping neckline. There we go. Plotted on the break. Where does this take Bitcoin up to? Not Bitcoin, XRP up to. Once again, the previous all-time high right there. Right? Now with that, guys, you need to understand that this is a very important breakout. Okay? And also for those of you who do not want to be relying on us, you don't want to rely on me or Sean for any of this, then check out the seed program if you guys really want to take it to the next level. Right? That way you can see the trade setups unfold and you know exactly when it's time to be getting in. What's the right time? When are you supposed to be looking at the chart? Because the time to be looking at the chart is not when the coin is already pumped. It's not when the asset has already pumped. It's about understanding when it's building very slowly, building that momentum, building that strength. That is your time to get in. It's about observing, knowing how to identify that build up in strength. It's so subtle, but it's there. Okay, it gives you the signals to be jumping in. If you guys want to learn that, check out the seed program. Okay, that way you're not relying on various YouTube channels, various analysts online. But this is a very important breakout right here. Okay, why is that? Because not only have we broken out of these weekly patterns, this 2-day pattern. No, guys, you're missing the big picture. And I feel like, that's where people missed out on XRP. I feel like everyone just missed out on the big picture. They forgot about what's happening behind the scenes in terms of the fundamentals unfolding in a positive way. All of that litigation stuff that XRP went through freaking fell off, right? Everything dissolved while XRP held through all the FUD. That is a show of strength. That is a signal of strength. You see that sort of recipe on any other asset moving forward. You know now how to identify that. Don't get too fixated on the FUD. Okay, learn to identify the opportunity. Now, XRP is sort of it's looking good through the fundamental standpoint of things. It's never looked better, if you ask me personally, and the technicals look freaking beautiful. I feel like if there's any time where XRP can really shine through, it's this cycle. All right, now this breakout is important because we also break out of that massive freaking bull flag that's in everyone's face, and I feel like not enough people are talking about it. Okay, this measured move takes XRP up to $13. Just the bull flag. I was telling Sean this. I'm like, Sean, if there's any time where XRP can truly shine, it's this cycle. I'm like, think about it. It's got all the ingredients. It's got all the ingredients. And every time I give them targets, now we have the $23 target. This is one question I keep getting over and over again. Krisha, is XRP still getting up to $23? And I'm going to give you guys the same friggin' answer. Okay? For as long as we're within the bull market, which we are, Bitcoin is breaking out right now. Okay, that's always going to be dictated by what Bitcoin is doing, because Bitcoin right now represents the index of the entire space. It gives you an idea of just how much money is flowing into the space. Okay, Bitcoin is a representation of that. And if Bitcoin is still within its bull run parameters, I'm saying XRP can shine even more. Alrighty. Now XRP right here is still in its bull run. It's following Bitcoin's trajectory of the bull run. And for as long as it's there, as long as that holds true, I'm saying $23 is still on the books. For those of you wondering, Krisha, where in the friggin' world are you getting $23 from? I mean, guys, we've gone over this. Let's go over it again, okay? There we go. You know, I've had all of these drawings, by the way, since last year's summer. I haven't changed anything. It's crazy. But yeah, last year's summer. And I've stuck true to it. My XRP story has been on freaking point, okay? But this is it. $23 comes from a symmetrical triangle, a bullish pattern breakout that's been forming since the 2017 cycle. And this is one thing that it brought up in the Mango Premium video. By the way, for those of you who did not catch the premium video, the last one that I posted a couple of days ago, actually just yesterday, watch it. I give you guys another amazing system that has had a 100% hit rate. Okay, this is targets. Once again, we're talking targets. Go and watch it. I even dropped some wisdom on how you should be looking at these very macro structures that you see on the chart. Okay, those are not meant to be, you do not fade those structures. Don't. Okay, so go ahead and watch that if you haven't already done so. And since we're here, XRP on this, we got a whole trend reset right here. Okay, volatility also tempering off. This is essentially what you want to see for it to then, like, for the bulls to actually start building up momentum. All right, so now what I'll be looking for on the dashboard here is for these trends to now flip long. So for those of you who are looking at the dashboard, and I noticed that, I know the dashboard has been helping a lot of people right now. Wolvie actually mentioned that how the dashboard has been a freaking lifesaver in actually helping him, well, you know, capture some great trades and help him assess the trend, more importantly. But what I'm going to be looking for here, for those of you trading XRP seriously, get those alerts in. Because then as soon as the trend flips, you get alerted via email. Okay, now that the market's trending, I want you guys to have your eyes on the dashboard as well. All right, so I'll be looking for the trend flip on the dashboard for XRP to go long, for me to then get the tell and that, okay, this chart is ready. We're ready for the next rip. All right, but right now it's still looking good. It's still looking great. Tomorrow we close over $2.40. It's game on, bulls. Okay, I'm going through the chat, do we have any questions on XRP before I get into the next one? But yeah, $23, guys, bottom line on the books still. Okay, $23 stems from this beautiful symmetrical triangle. This is the target of the symmetrical triangle formation, $23. This is still on the books. I am still looking at this as a probable outcome. Yeah, never FOMO. Don't FOMO. Like I said, now I use the dynamic indicator to get me into bids. More importantly, so I use I use the dynamic indicator for one, and I also use, like, if I notice this confluence with my key regions of support and resistance, I find that there's major confluence on those levels. That makes the trade setup much easier for me. But I first also look for the trend to be established. Now XRP, for instance, right here, it's beginning to establish that trend. You can see it, a series of higher highs and higher lows on the entire range right there, right? We're holding that dynamic support ever since we started the trend right here. We've been picking up the bid right here on the daily dynamic support. You're going to find these signatures. When the trend begins, guys, you often find signatures. XRP's biggest signature, by the way, ever since the trend began, on every single major trend it's had, has been the 12-hour dynamic. Notice, it establishes the trend on every single impulsive move on that 12-hour dynamic. So you know now that, okay, the best, most probable bid, most easy bid to manage is going to be on that dynamic support. And it's only when we really started losing it right here that we know that, okay, something different is happening. The trend might very well be coming to an end. Okay, now's the time to be vigilant if you're looking to take profits off the table, especially if you've been riding it with us right here since the bottom right here, 52 cents to 60 cents, right? We've been riding XRP since here, since before the breakout. All right, so if you guys want to take profits off the table, by all means, but understand where we are in the signature of the trend. Okay, we got a 4-hour close on Bitcoin. Let's go ahead, 4 hour. Oh, beauty, 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 beauty. Do you guys see it? Gonna clear everything out. That's a beautiful close, guys. Let's take a moment to appreciate a beautiful chart. Okay, next coin is going to be SUI. SUI, honestly, keep SUI simple. Like, don't mess. Like, when you find a good system. Okay, my time is up. I literally got an alarm here telling me my time is up, so we'll be wrapping up very soon. SUI, guys, is bi-weekly dynamic. Just don't mess around with systems that work, okay? Like, you can make bank just by not getting cute, literally, okay? You had an entire freaking trade right here. From the bottom ever since the trend began all the way to the top, that was a good 316%. All right, and then one more right here. I mean, it's like cheat codes. This was 569%. So once again, keep SUI very simple. I personally would not be buying here. I'd be buying much closer to the dynamic support. Okay, right now your 2-day dynamic support comes in right here. This is your range. Alrighty. The range is from 3 for those of you who want the setup, or rather the bid zone. $3.38 going down to $3.19. Right, so can it break? I don't know if it breaks down more here. It's looking strong. Sean, your thoughts on SUI? Seems to be a signature. Notice that? 12-hour. Didn't you have something on SUI, Sean? It was like a combination of the 2-day dynamic and the 12-hour dynamic? That the 12-hour is better for like to catch the shorter time frame trades, especially when the trend has already begun, and it's only on the deeper pullbacks do you gun for the 2-day? This looks good though, picking up a bid right here. Seems to be a signature, right? Falling channel and then breakout. Falling channel, breakout. 4-day plus 2-day zone is what I marked for him. Okay, I see. Oh, it's the same zone. It's the same zone. It's confluence. It's the same zone. Okay, this looks good. But yeah, you guys have the bids on the 2-day dynamic, also now confluencing with the 4-day dynamic. Yeah, very, very neat. I don't know if we get a test anytime soon. If we, I don't know, Sean. Looks like we're about. What are your thoughts? I think we rally from here. Based on what Bitcoin is doing, Bitcoin sees continuation. I'm saying SUI also sees continuation. I don't think the altcoins are going to be lagging behind. You know, and speaking of the altcoins lagging behind, I want to just very, very quickly get on to Bitcoin dominance for a second. Bitcoin dominance, guys, if you guys, how many of you are sort of deep in the alts right now? How many of you are deep in the alts? You know, if you really want to figure out if your altcoins are going to start outperforming Bitcoin, because it's always going to be opportunity cost, right? For every time your altcoins don't move and Bitcoin moves, well, you just missed out on the Bitcoin boat. So it's about really understanding when is it a good time to be, really more stacked in favor of the alts than Bitcoin, because those are your choices, right? Right now, I mean, Bitcoin dominance still looks dominant, right? So I'm dominance only really, I say the alts really only have edge. Apologies for all the other drawings. It only really has edge. The altcoin's always going to be a better buy now, or rather a better hodl than Bitcoin if we start breaking this, okay? If we start breaking the 58th percentile mark. But right now I'm saying Bitcoin still has the upper edge here, okay? This is has been an incessant uptrend telling you that, okay, right now Bitcoin is still going to be the better hodl. Bitcoin is still outperforming most of the major altcoins, right? Now, there's any time where Bitcoin dominance can actually start tanking. It might be here. We're at the midpoint, okay, which sort of gives the altcoins a bit of an edge, right? And historically, if I'm being very honest with you, I've done a bit of a back test. Based on the juncture of the market we're in, although I wouldn't say jump the gun, this is still, it's subjective, okay? So I don't want you guys to act on this. This is just a marker that I have. I'm just speaking my thoughts. But based on a bit of a back test I've done, it's usually during this juncture of the market where the altcoins start picking up a bit of steam. So this is to say that while we don't have the actual signals just yet, don't fade the altcoins now. Like, watch your altcoin Bitcoin chart. Like, for instance, if you're playing XRP, actually keep an eye out on the XRP BTC chart, okay? This is what I mean. And you want to start seeing a bit of you want to start seeing a bit of a pickup right here, okay, to tell you that, okay, XRP now is going to start picking up steam against Bitcoin. XRP is going to be the better hodl than Bitcoin. It's not showing us that right now, okay? It appears that XRP BTC has hit a bit of resistance and breaking down. Ooh. So yeah, this is how you determine if it's a good time to be in Bitcoin or the altcoin that you're looking at. Always look at the Bitcoin altcoin pairing. But okay, next one I said was ADA. ADA, this one is for Blag. Blag, are you in here? But Blag asked a very, very cool question today on the Discord chat. Once again, guys, if you want good alpha, you want a good family. There is no room for toxicity, so I'm just going to put that out there, so don't be toxic. If you're looking for a good place to be in, then join the Discord chat. It's not going to be open for too long, okay? As soon as the bull run picks up and, you know, gets really, really crowded out there, we might actually restrict access. So just a heads up on that. But yeah, right now, so Blag asked this question. He says, Krisha, what if we actually close the weekly candle? So this is, okay, first of all, I feel like I'm jumping a few steps ahead. He asked, okay, this is the observation I've made. Cardano actually trends very, very well off the weekly dynamic indicator. Okay, every time we reclaim the weekly dynamic indicator, that's when Cardano actually has these crazy impulsive moves to the upside. Crazy explosive moves to the upside. For instance, we had one right here. Okay, I'm going to knock off any other line I don't need, so apologies. Okay, the first reclaim of the weekly dynamic resistance, we actually trended on it, and Cardano did a 162% just on that. Okay, sometimes you just got to keep your systems really simple, right? The second time we did it right here. Okay, this was an explosive move on Cardano. But still, you know, even if you take it from, you know, where we actually reclaimed it to the top, that was a good 191%, right? And in both instances, guys, it's only when we lost the weekly dynamic support did we know that, okay, the trend is done. Trend is done. Get the hell out. Get the hell out. Sometimes your systems, don't make excuses. Don't fight your system, okay? You defeat the purpose of having a system if you're going to argue with it. It's there to keep you objective, so just when it gives you the signal, listen to it, okay? So right now, I came out with a video on Cardano, and I said, hey, keep this one simple once again. Cardano is about to reclaim weekly dynamic resistance. And on the other two instances that we actually managed to reclaim the weekly dynamic resistance, it freaking exploded. So once again, I'm looking at this as a bullish sign. So Blag is like, okay, Krisha, what if this weekly closes under the weekly dynamic support, but it holds the bi-weekly dynamic support? What then? Right? Now I get it. It's a tough position to be in. Okay, I agree. All right, and this is what ends up happening, right? You kind of cook yourself in the trade in a way. but you keep like changing your time frames to justify actually being in the position. But the weekly dynamic, all right? Honestly, the way I do it, Blag, now this is where Sean's new feature is going to come to play. Now, I don't have it on this chart because we haven't released the feature just yet. But, actually, no, do I have it here? No, I don't, actually. No, I don't. Maybe. Sorry, give me a second, okay, Blag? Maybe I can actually bring it up here. I think I can. Let's do it. Let's do it. Is it here? Settings. Okay, yeah. Okay, so according to this right now, it's telling you that, okay, it's still within your range. There we go. Okay, so now according to this, it says that, okay, even if you break the weekly dynamic, this is where you end your bidding. You end your bidding at 68 cents, okay? And that also is within the bi-weekly dynamic zone right there. All right, so this is where the indicator can help, okay? It can help tremendously at that too. In fact, I think it sort of kept you, yeah. Okay, so this is where it's going to help. It's going to give you that zone, that buffer zone, to tell you to give you a bit more conviction when selling your position, especially if you're uncertain. All right, now, right now as things look, Blag, I think that Cardano right here looks like it's about to sort of close over that weekly dynamic. Well, it was resistance, now flipped into support. If we close over, okay, you guys need to understand, if Cardano closes over the weekly dynamic range, it's game on, bulls. Okay, game on, bulls. Keep it simple. Keep this one very, very simple. We've also begun to establish an uptrend right here on the daily time frame as well. Right? This is once again another signature. I'm saying this is likely going to start heading even higher. All right. So for Cardano, I say weekly is your bid. Okay, and yeah. For me, I'm looking at something much bigger. I've already discussed this, but you guys already see it, I'm sure. Okay, this is it. Right, we are looking at a massive, and Cardano I feel like is still underpriced, if I'm being very honest, compared to, all of the coins that were announced on Trump's crypto reserve news drop. Cardano is the only one on that list that never really got up to its previous all-time high. Consider that. Cardano is the only one on that list that has not gotten up to its previous all-time high. The only one. I mean, the president of the United States of America just came out and dropped Cardano like it was the thing. And this is where it's at. So I feel like if there's a lot of edge still there, like a lot of alpha still remaining on the trade, it's on ADA right now from all the coins that he announced. All right. Now I'm looking at the massive cup and handle formation, the measured move to which, take it plotted on the break, okay, and I believe this breakout is coming soon, all right, and which is why I'm always going to tell you guys to capture the best bids on the chart, okay. Now this is actually an amazing bid opportunity because you get to score the weekly dynamic that has performed very, very, very well on every single impulsive move thus far, inclusive of the previous bull market as well, okay, inclusive of this right here. Right. So once again, I'm saying fall back onto what's working, okay? Don't mess around with something that's working. And if this plays out, we're looking at a target that takes it up to all-time high, coming all the way up to $7 per ADA. Okay, this is the target range, guys. All right, from where price is at right now to the $7 mark, that's a good 800% to the upside. Okay, we're going to do one last coin. What do I have in the title? I just wanted to stick to the title. Can someone give me a heads up on what I got there? I know I had SUI. Did I have ETH? Okay, let me go through the comments. For a Bitcoin, Cold Card is really good. Trezor. My personal favorite. So I've tried a lot of them. The one that I find the most user-friendly, personally, is Trezor. And I just feel like their marketing team is absolute ass. Like, they're so bad at their marketing. But I feel like they have the more superior product right now, in every way. So if you're looking for something that's more user-friendly, look towards Trezor. And I think it's a lot more safe. I feel like Ledger has had a lot of issues in the past. There's been a lot of FUD, especially the whole thing with the keys. Remember the keys last time? Your private keys were held somewhere, I don't know, some crazy shit that dropped on Ledger, and it was so bad. But Trezor so far has been, I know it's been good. Tangem rocks. I'll check that out as well. There's your options are of course Ledger. There's Trezor. There's the Cold Card. There's now Tangem. I haven't heard that one. There's Jade. Yeah. But get yourself, invest in protecting your assets. Please, 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 please invest in that. Okay? It's going to be a fraction of what your accounts could potentially turn into. It's going to be a fraction of what your accounts on all your hot wallets, on all your exchanges can turn into. Protect your funds at all costs. Always have a backup as to where you can store your funds that you have complete, utter control over. Okay, it should never be in a hot wallet. Your hot wallet should not be the thing to go to. No. Get yourself an actual hardware wallet. Santiago's like, man, I'm gonna get it's a Trezor. It's a Trezor. Like I said, we don't really, like, I'm always gonna be honest with you when it comes to wallets. Okay, I'm always gonna be very, very, very honest with you guys. So also, if you're not trading on any of the exchanges, okay, don't just have your funds sitting on the exchange. Take it out and put it in your wallets. Okay, if you do not intend on trading and you got a family event going on, protect your funds. Take it out of the exchange and put it in your wallet. Okay, you do not know what's going to happen to the exchanges. Literally every single bear market, an exchange has gone down. Right? It could be the one that you're on. It's just your freaking bad luck, and it could be your exchange that goes down. Don't lose money willy-nilly. Don't lose money willy-nilly. And also, speaking of exchanges, don't forget the campaign here on BitUnix. Okay, this is, honestly, guys, this is freaking just money given to you to trade with. Use it. Okay, right now you're getting $10 for just signing up. All right. And on your deposits, you don't have to trade on just deposits. You're literally getting USDT trading bonuses. If you deposit $2,000, you're getting $400 back. Okay. This is money you can use towards your trades. Imagine this is going to help so much with just your risk and even just putting on your positions. This is added margin for you to actually increase your positions. All right, so $2,000, you're getting $400 back. If you put $1,000, you're getting $200 back, so on and so forth. All right, so you don't see these bonuses too often, and they often expire. Now, this one expires tomorrow. Jeez Louise. Okay, so this one expires tomorrow, so take advantage of it right now, okay? If you haven't done it, if you want to just, if you have to create a new account and take advantage of this, go ahead and do it, all right? These don't come in too often, so when they do, squeeze it out. It expires, no, it expires on the 29th? Okay, well, Sean's saying it expires on the 29th. Do you want to take that chance? Just kidding. I don't pass free money. I'll take it. If it adds to the margin, I'm good. But yeah, right now it says 19th. I'll double check anyways. Sean's saying 29th, but okay. But yeah, take advantage of this. You'll find it in the link in the description below. Just themangoway.com/BitUnix should take you to the page. But yeah, just use the link below. It's just easier. Okay, what else do I have in the description? Does anyone want to let me know? One last coin? ETH? What is it? Guys, let's go to the moon together. I agree. We're going. We're getting there today. Here's my thing, okay? I believe. Not I believe. I feel like believe is the nasty word. It's a weak word. Where's my drawings, yo? Where my drawings at? Okay, there it is. Okay, I gotta end this soon. I'm already past my timing. What have you guys done? Okay, I'm keeping this simple, all right? I said we're getting up to $200,000. This is when we're getting up to $200,000. Okay? Guys, by the way, if Bitcoin gets up to $200,000, do you really believe XRP is going to sit idle? No. XRP is going to be at $10. Okay? But Bitcoin gets up to $200,000 as soon as we start clearing 130K. Okay, Sean's pulling the plug on me, guys. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do smash the likes. It goes a very, very, very long way for the channel. If you're not already subscribed, you want to keep up with the updates, you want to keep up with the live streams, well, what are you doing? Hit the sub, and I will now see you in the Discord chat. Come join the family. We're going to be super, super, super stoked to have you in there. With this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Let's moon it. Let's go.